Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick, and welcome back to Beacon Pines, where... What were we doing? Oh yeah, Gran is here at home. We know that Gran is up to stuff. But first, we need to check on Mr. Tallier, who is in the basement. Is he still there? Or is Gran just faking it? Oh no.
Mr. Tolliver was nowhere to be seen.
Tolliver, not Tallier. I was close. I just forgot one consonant. Maybe he woke up, escaped from his bindings, and left without a trace.
Or maybe Gran knew everything.
Dun dun dun. What do I do?
Luca's hungry stomach groaned. Not realizing it, he'd gone the entire day without eating.
Okay, I can figure this out. I just need a little brain food.
Luca rushed over to the pile of jam jars, unscrewed one, and shoveled a handful into his mouth.
I'm afraid your jam delivery will be delayed.
He flipped the lid to read the label.
Mr. Nuncreed. Okay, now I can think. Just slap some jam in your mouth. I feel like that's something a kid get away with. I would immediately crash from all that sugar. So if Gran knows we tied up Mr. Tolliver, I'm screwed. If she doesn't know, then I need to play it cool. I guess the only option is to go to bed and act as if nothing is wrong. Gran will think Mr. Tolliver finished what he was sent to do and left when he was done. I mean, I suppose that's an acceptable plan. As good as any as a kid can come up with. Gran is gone. Gran? Okay, stick to the plan. Go to bed and play it cool.
As Luca climbed the final stair, the emotion of the day dragged heavily on him. With each consecutive step, his legs weakened. His stride began to falter. He tried to grab for the railing to steady himself. Something was wrong.
Was there poison in that jam? The jam meant for Mr. Nuncreed? Come on, legs. Just a few more steps.
Luca groaned and tried to move. His limbs might as well have been bolted to the ground. Through numb lips, he mumbled just before falling asleep.
The jam... Sweet boy. What did you get yourself into? Rest now, and let me handle everything.
Chapter 9. A speech to end all speeches. Luca awoke to find himself face down in bed.
Yeah, we still haven't actually heard William Kerr's speech that he's been
He
planning.
moaned into his
With the
pillow.
perennial
Why would
harvest.
Gran drug him? Or rather, why was she trying to drug Mr. Nuncreed? Shaking the questions from his woozy head, Luca snapped back to the matter at hand.
Because this version of Luca doesn't know that Mr. Nuncreed is working for the enemy. Only one version of him knows that. The festival! All right, let's go back to town. See what we missed. Oh, hello. Where have you been? Gran put something in the jam. Yeah, we know. Secret messages for conspirators. No, not this one. This one was intended for Mr. Nuncreed. Put me to sleep. Ho, 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 ho. Sly devil. Ooh, a new charm. I think she's trying to remove him from the equation. He might be in danger. Have you found anything? We looked around, but haven't seen anything odd. Your Gran is nowhere to be found. But Mr. Nuncreed is just loafing around waiting for the speech. What speech? Mayor Gus just got up to the podium. Everyone is gathering at the stage. Let's get moving. Gotta get moving.
Augustus Valentine nervously wiped his brow.
Who's this thing? Hello, Beacon Pines. I'm Augustus Valentine, your mayor, and I suppose you already know that. Oh yes. Before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment to recognize someone who couldn't be here today. This town wouldn't be where it is today without my father, Sharper Valentine. So I thought we could begin with a round of applause befitting such a great man. Even that's more than the old codger deserved.
Gus cleared his throat and awkwardly loosened his tie.
Right, where was I?
William Kerr bounded on the
Also,
stage with the energy of a preacher at a big tent revival.
Look, the lady who keeps reading books all day by the fountain is still reading a book. Which makes for a very convenient way of not having to make a second sprite for her. Gus Valentine, everyone.
He gave Gus a hearty slap on the back and motioned him off the stage.
Let's hear it for our mayor. What a great turnout. Oh, heck, I didn't prepare anything. But I suppose I could say a few words. Would be a shame to waste such a beautiful podium.
Mr. Kerr pulled a thick stack of note cards out from his vest.
Oh yeah, prepared nothing. Community, conviction, commitment. These are the things we celebrate at a perennial harvest. For us, these are the pillars of the bridge to a better tomorrow. But I think it's time to add a new pillar. Change. Change is a powerful thing, and it's also one of the first charms you get in this game. The entire idea that a story is about change. It's inexorable, unavoidable, and undeniable. Arguably, those three kind of mean the same thing in this context. And I am daggum thankful for it. Dadgum. Change is the reason we're all together today. It's hard for me to believe that it was only 4 years ago when fate brought me here. A simple business trip which brought me to a small town which would change my life forever.
Mr. Kerr took a moment to survey the crowd.
You know what?
He wiped away a single tear.
From the second I set foot in Beacon Pines, something about this place has held me captive. You see, change represents opportunity. It represents potential. It was change that helped me recognize the potential of this place. To see that the people of the town, despite suffering great loss, still held on to the things that made them special.
He thumped the podium to emphasize each word.
Community, conviction, commitment, change.
Mr. Kerr nodded confidently, biting his lip. The crowd was silent, in rapt attention.
Fate made a perfect match that day. Nothing is more important to you all than community. And Perennial Harvest is a community first and foremost.
Mr. Kerr methodically made eye contact with each section of the crowd.
The only way you made it through the foul harvest was an unshakable conviction. A conviction that a better tomorrow was just over the horizon. Perennial Harvest was founded on the conviction that we are that horizon. This festival is a symbol of our commitment to each other.
His voice began to build to a crescendo.
We now walk hand in hand into a future we will shape together. And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I am tickled pink that we will be making that choice together. How great is that? Just imagine what we can accomplish. What was that?
The crowd began to look around nervously.
Don't worry, a little thunder isn't going to ruin this day. Everyone, remain calm.
Mr. Kerr quickly flicked through his note cards.
Where was I? Through all of my travels, I've learned one true thing. One always reaps what they sow. We have all planted a lot of good in this town. And so it is with a happy heart that I can proclaim...
He raised his hands up to the heavens.
Our harvest awaits. What is the epicenter of the big chill?
At that moment, a merciless wall of impossibly cold air ripped through the crowd, instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched. For a man like William Kerr, this was a fitting way for things to end. On a stage, with an entire town frozen in rapt attention for the rest of time. The end. There's that ice again! Whenever I think we're getting close, it comes along and ruins everything! Maybe we should just quit? Maybe you should just close the book, walk away, and never think of me again. No, I don't mean that.
Damn it, I was just about to close the book and quit the game. And then start playing Hungry Hungry Hippos.
Please.
Alright, what else can I do? Ooh. Good cop, sly cop. Let's try this. Let's see where this branch goes. With, fight or flight. Because fight failed terribly. So let's try flight.
Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left. Flight. He squinted down the barrel of the mission control defense cannon, aiming it through an opening in the dense tree branches. He looked up with surprise as it struck true and taut.
That is much more successful than it did the first time. Wow, I can't believe that worked. Hey, Mr. Kerr. We'd love to hear your thoughts, but I'm afraid we have places to be. Come on, Iggy. See ya, jerks. Oh yeah, in this timeline, Iggy was mutated. Fine. We know where that leads them. This way, we'll take the tunnels.
Luca and Iggy winced as they sprinted through the thicket. The branches clawed at them, reluctant to give passage. After what felt like a marathon, Luca stopped in his tracks as they reached the clearing. What the? That was all he was able to say before Iggy slammed into his back. The boys tumbled down a steep decline and crashed with a wheezing thud on a surface as hard as ice. In fact, it was ice.
So maybe they already know that whatever chemical concoction they're making, it is creating this
Chapter
frozen
5.
space.
Signs. They stood silently, catching their breath. The sky was like sapphire. With each breath, a plume of steam escaped from Luca's lungs. Let's keep moving. Luca pulled Iggy to his feet as they gazed across a snowy terrain.
That was actually pretty badass. Uh-huh. I think we lost him. Are we up in the mountains? I don't think so. If anything, we went downhill. Then what's up with the Winter Wonderland? All I know is there's no going back the way we came. Let's see if we can get our bearings. Follow me. I'm suddenly reminded of a Call of Duty game of all things. Bonus points if you know which one features the line, "You're standing in a frozen forest." I have very fond memories of that particular line.
A disc of smooth metal was lightly covered in snow. Two faint seams were visible along the surface.
A manhole cover? If it is, I've never seen one like it. Okay, we don't know who's speaking yet, so until we do, just my regular voice. Luca, are you there?
Luca had almost forgotten the walkie-talkie.
It's probably Rolo. Oh no, it's that bozo Kerr. It's that bozo Kerr. I hope nothing bad has happened to you out in those woods.
Luca looked at Iggy with hesitation.
No need to be
With a
rude.
resigned sigh, Luca responded.
It seems like the only dangerous thing in the woods is you. He speaks, the young man of the hour. Now, how in tarnation did you end up with one of our radios? Just lucky, I guess. Boy, howdy, you Van Horns are full of surprises, aren't you? You knew my parents? I never had the honor of meeting your father, but your mom was sure. I never had the honor of meeting your father, but your mom sure was a handful.
Luca winced, shoving the walkie-talkie back into his pocket.
We gotta keep moving. Everybody's gotta keep moving. That seems to be a theme here. Is there anywhere else for us to move to? Other than back? Oh, hello.
What's the readout? Sitting just above 258 Kelvin. That's down a bit from last time. Should we report this to Mr. Kerr? Nah, still within safe ranges. It may be spreading, but it's under control for now. Even a small nudge in the equilibrium could cause a cascade. Dude, relax.
Oh, so that's what causes the big chill. Is first there's the explosion, which affects the technology holding back the big chill in the first place.
Just a few more sites to hit before we can punch out. Let's get this over with.
Okay, so there are two people in suits. Clearly Gran isn't both of them. That's also probably why Gran needs the suit to begin with in order to safely enter this area. Wait a second. Wait a second. Hold on. The foul harvest destroyed the town. Or at the very least, perennial harvest destroyed the town. When they moved everybody out, they destroyed the town, and they just rebuilt the town again. Like, this is the original Beacon Pines. What's all this? Hard to say with all this snow. I think it's a town sign. I can almost make out letters under there. What town could this even be? There couldn't be another town this deep into Weepwood. I'm looking at evidence to the contrary. Let's figure out what we're dealing with here. Step 1, snow's gotta go. I'll see what I can do. Oh. Welcome to Beacon Pines.
The boys stared in disbelief at the sign that now clearly read, "Welcome to Beacon Pines."
This doesn't make any sense. We're in Beacon Pines? How's that possible? And also, yeah, we've got a double of the city. We've got a pretend grandma. We ran away from town. How did we get back here? I guess we got turned around. Where did all this snow come from? Well, it's been colder than normal lately. That's a pretty big difference between sweater weather and this Arctic hellscape. The puddle we fought at before, it was cold too. Maybe all of it leads to one source. The source. You think it's related? What the hell is going on? We're gonna get you some answers. Let's keep moving. So the source would probably be the whatever actually started the trouble in the first place. This stuff look familiar to you? It looks like the barrel near the puddle I shoved me into, yeah. Alright, we don't have to worry about the alternate secret clubhouse. It's all frozen.
Looking down at the frozen stream, Luca could faintly see a school of minnows encased in the ice.
Whatever happened here, it happened fast. The fish didn't even have have time to run. Or, you know, run? Swim fast?
The crunching of footsteps trailing Luca went hush. He looked back to see Iggy's face twisted with confusion.
Everyone's gone. What? There's nothing here but more snow. There must be an explanation for all this. We have to keep looking. You can look all you want. I quit. Iggy, we have to keep going. You don't get it, do you? This isn't one of your pathetic Hank Atomic stories. We aren't going to save the day. We aren't even going to save ourselves. My face is mangled. The town is destroyed. And everyone we've never known is gone. We don't know that. You can't just quit. Do whatever you want. I'm done. Iggy, it's gonna be okay.
Luca peered upward at the darkening sky. He let out a long, foggy breath. Faintly, Iggy began to cry. Seeing Iggy in such a pathetic state gave Luca a sense of compassion, and more than a little guilt.
It is getting pretty late, I think. Probably not a great idea to stumble around in the dark anyway.
Luca allowed himself to collapse next to Iggy.
Let's just rest for a bit.
The boys huddled together for warmth and comfort. If not for exhaustion, their minds would be racing, trying to make sense of the events of the day. As it was, all they had energy for was to sit in silence.
The way the snow covered everything over, it's kinda calming. Yeah, I haven't had time to say it, but thanks. Huh? For getting us away from those creeps. I sort of froze up back there. Iggy, I should be the one apologizing. This all happened because I lost my temper. Nah, that's bull hockey. First of all, you didn't know what the gunk would do. You didn't, right? Of course not. And second, stop with this baloney about losing your temper. But I did lose my temper.
Motioned sarcastically to his half-deformed face.
Obviously. But that's exactly what you should have done. Huh? I was being a horse's ass. You were supposed to be a horse's ass in response. That's how it works. Iggy, I'm having a hard time following. You wanted me to fight you? Of course. Geez, you goody-goody types take forever to understand this very basic point. Why would you go around saying cruel things trying to get into fights?
Iggy shrugged.
It's something to do. You're an asshole because you're bored? Sometimes I just feel empty. You wouldn't understand. You and Roller are always having a blast together, laughing and calling that dinky little treehouse mission control.
Iggy now wept openly.
Perfect little Luca Van Horn, with his perfect little life. My life is not perfect. Everyone in town likes you. Not everybody. Hell, that new girl hasn't even unpacked yet, and even she likes you. You have Tish.
He wiped his nose with his sleeve.
I love Tish. Tish is great. But she ain't exactly the world's greatest conversationalist, you know?
Luca gave a warm chuckle.
I get that impression. She mostly just kind of says yup.
Iggy cleared his throat as he wiped his eyes.
She's basically like the big guy from Hot Fuzz. Except instead of saying yep, or instead of saying yarp, she says yep. It must be raining out here. Definitely.
Iggy arched into a wide yawn.
We should probably try to get some sleep. Yeah. Let's lay low for now. Tomorrow we'll get to the bottom of all this.
Luca's eyelids began to slowly drift shut.
Luca? Yeah? I always did want to see the inside of your dinky little treehouse. What do you think? Not bad. I'll give you the full tour when we get back. You know what?
That's all Luca could whisper before succumbing to sleep. Iggy snuggled in some more.
When it comes to the worst days of my entire life, this one wasn't half bad.
The house smelled of warm bread. Luca was playing with toy blocks on the living room rug. He looked up to see his parents on the couch. His mother held his father's head in her lap. She idly stroked his hair while humming a song. A voice behind Luca spoke. Luca turned to see his own face.
I screwed up. My bad. I'll see if I can put the text of what was previous said on the screen right now. It's appearing. Wait. I'm in the corner, so it's right there. I don't know what it says. I won't find out until I put it there. Alright. So what that said, Luca turned to see his own face.
The doppelganger from his dreams, still clad in a yellow hazmat suit, still carrying a look of disdain behind empty eyes. Aww, look at this perfectly cozy scene. You know it wasn't really like this. The figure picked up a toy block and inspected it. It's amazing the facades that one can build given the right materials. Not that I blame us. These are a child's memories, all warm and fuzzy. You don't remember, do you? Lucas snatched the block from the figure's yellow-gloved hand. Remember what? The doppelganger pointed to the couch. The last day we saw him alive. The day he chose to abandon us. Luca turned to look at his father, still lounging on the couch. That's not true. He didn't abandon us. The doppelganger waved his hand dismissively. Everything is true here. It's just a matter of what we choose to see. Well, let me show you. The world flickered and pulsed. Luca was sitting next to his bed, listening to his heartbeat with one of his dad's stethoscopes. The doppelganger limped into the room. No, we both know that's not how this went. He grabbed Luca's hand and guided the stethoscope to the floor. Luca heard muffled shouting, brought close by the stethoscope. It was his parents, fighting. Do you remember what we did next? Luca gave a slow nod and crept down the hall to peek through the banister. He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. Damn it, Walt. We can't afford to get involved in this. She was scared. His father stepped forward. What am I supposed to do? Just watch? There's a sickness in this town, and we both know who's behind it. I swore an oath to help people. I won't turn my back on them. Luca's mother grabbed Walt. She was crying, pleading. I can't lose you. Walt calmly removed Eleanor's hand from his shoulder. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. I could never live with myself if I let Sharper get away with this. Eleanor raised her voice. Spare me your bullshit platitudes. What about our son? Luca flinched, dropping the stethoscope down the stairs. Walt turned with a panicked smile. Luca, is that you, buddy? With tears in his eyes, Luca descended the stairs. Mom? Dad? What's going on? Walt dropped to a knee to meet Luca eye to eye. Nothing, buckaroo. Your mom and I just got a little overexcited is all. Luca placed the stethoscope against his father's chest. His heart was racing. It sounded like you were going somewhere? Walt gently removed the device from Luca's ears. Listen to me, Luca. I have some business to take care of. I'll be back in time to tuck you in. Luca hugged his father tightly. Promise? Walt stood up and walked to the door. He glanced over his shoulder. I promise. With a wink and a grin, he put on his hat and strode out into the evening sun.
Oh, hello.
A figure approached soundlessly from the foggy snowfall. It stood above them, lingering in contemplation. Slowly raising one hand above Iggy, it snapped out 2 brisk raps on his head. From a deep slumber, Iggy sprang up defensively.
Get your hands off me.
Whether it was the calming presence or the recognition that he was not in danger, Iggy felt his clenched fists lower.
Just what do you think you're doing?
Luca looked up, gradually remembering his whereabouts. The figure exhaled a cloud of warm vapor.
Oh, you two certainly have caused a lot of commotion. What's that supposed to mean? Take it easy, Iggy. We were asleep minding our own business. You're the one running around knocking on people's heads. I'm sorry if I hurt you, Iggy. You didn't hurt nobody. Anybody. Huh? Oh, I see. You think you're better than me, you.
When it came to complete strangers, Iggy had trouble cobbling together.
But she knows his name. You big-hatted, scarfy-necked furball. Okay, let's lower the temperature a bit there. Interesting choice of words. I mean, let's just calm down. Who are you? A friend? An observer? A hitchhiker on the infinite expanse of possibility? Great. How about a name? If you must call me something, you can call me Nat.
Iggy huffed with gratification.
How about you make like a gnat and buzz off? Very well.
Nat began to turn away indifferently.
Wait, do you live here? You might say that. So you know where we are? You might also say that. Look, pal, we just want to find a safe way out of here. You gotta help us or not. Before knowing how to leave, one must know where they are. Alright, that does it. Luca, I don't know about you, but I'm gonna get out of here one way or another.
Iggy turned sharply and began to stomp off.
Enough with the riddles. Iggy, wait up.
Realizing he'd worn their patience then, Nat relented.
Oh, he. Sorry. Very well. I suppose this isn't a time for metaphors. I'll show you how to get back home.
Luca and Iggy turned around with hope in their eyes.
Come here.
Nat took a deep breath in.
Close your eyes.
Nat exhaled slowly, then snapped his fingers.
Okay, open them.
For a brief moment, Luca and Iggy let themselves believe that some great magic was about to unfold, until they opened their eyes and found themselves in the exact same place. cold and disheartened.
This is your home. This is Beacon Pines. Look, Nat, we don't know how we got here. Maybe we stumbled through some time travel gate in the Weep Wood. Or we teleported to some alternate universe. Or this is all just some cruel experiment by Kerr and his goons. But this is not our home. You're inching closer to the truth. Alas, the reality is much less fanciful. Just give it to us straight. So be it. As I said, this is Beacon Pines. The original, true Beacon Pines. You both grew up here, but the town you've called your home for the past several years is a replica. A remarkable achievement of engineering, to be fair. But a replica nonetheless. That's impossible. It's too much work. You need a whole town to replicate a whole town. Indeed, to pull off such a feat would require immense labor power. That which could be moved would be moved. That which could not would require a precise duplicate. We would have noticed. Someone would have noticed. You'd think so? You'd think so, unless the auditing was impeccable. A mind-numbing attention to detail. As for the innumerable trivialities which complete the tapestry, well, you can leave that to this miraculous thing we call a brain. It has a real aversion to discontinuity. A revulsion, even. The brain has a wonderful way of smoothing out the rough edges, keeping us sane. Luca and Iggy looked around uncomfortably. So you're saying this someone made an entire new town and moved us all and no one noticed? Precisely. But why? Why is the one question that can never be answered with certainty. The best one can do is to uncover.
Nat narrowed his eyes, furrowed his brow, and uttered,
The source. Why do you say the source like that? Why indeed?
Luca began to laugh uncomfortably.
It's all ridiculous. There's no way they could.
He looked down at his feet. His eyes started back and forth in contemplation. With a sudden pain, a thought struck him.
If this really is home.
He sprinted off into the pale distance. As Iggy turned to follow, Nat called out,
Iggy, it's not too late to turn back. Simply head west through Weepwood. Oh, so there might be a hidden personal item that only...
Nat expressed his sympathy with a shrug and sauntered off as unassumingly as he'd arrived.
Who's Nat, though? Where does he come from? Why is he just wandering around the frozen city?
As Luca sprinted across the snow, the events of the past few days became clearer, pieces to a larger puzzle. Rollo said he was underground somewhere, captured. Mr. Kerr tried to cover it up with lies. The clipboards were hell-bent on capturing Iggy. It all seemed to point to perennial harvest. But right now, there was one thing that Luca needed to know. Luca stopped dead in his tracks. The tree was gone, uprooted and moved, leaving a raw gash in the earth.
Oh. And that's how he knows that this is the original Beacon Pines, because the tree that was there is gone now.
He dropped to his knees and dug wildly at
The tree that was by the gravestone of his father. So in theory, there should also be no casket.
Something hard. A headstone. A dry whisper escaped Luca's lips.
You're here. All this time I thought I was visiting you, but you've been here alone in the snow. Dad, I'm so sorry. They ruined your favorite spot in the world. Our favorite spot in the world. Dad, what do I do?
There was no reply, just snow-covered silence.
Why do you give me the slip like that? What if I couldn't find you, you jerk?
Iggy finally noticed the tears welling in Luca's eyes and the snow-covered grave.
Oh. Iggy, they stole his tree, Iggy. Yikes.
Suddenly, they heard the crunch of approaching footsteps in the snow.
We gotta hide.
$259K. Fall off distance, still good. Dude, did you hear me? I said 259. Sorry. You ever think about what we did here? We saved a whole town of people. Doesn't feel like it sometimes. What about everything we left behind? That's the grave of someone with a family. The people who love them will never know the truth. The truth is overrated.
He bent down to scoop up a snowball and lobbed it playfully.
Hey! Don't be such a downer, dude. We took this job to change the world. Yeah? Come on. It's almost lunchtime.
Wait, are those the moms? Supposedly they're working on opposite fronts, but are those Beck's moms? They just recently got jobs there. Oh my gosh, was that a Twin Peaks reference? Was that the way that that suit fellow just kind of like sidelined out of there? Weirdo. Here I thought I was a jerk. These dinguses are out here literally dancing on our graves.
Luca stuttered through heaving sobs.
I thought I was visiting him. I thought he was with me. Not gonna lie, that's a bad break. Here's some advice.
Iggy gave Luca a solid smack on the back of his head.
Hey! Who's any of this helping? What? Sitting here in the snow, crying like some pushover. Who you helping? Iggy, look what they did. They lied to everyone. Blah, blah, blah. Luca Van Horn, you're a lot of things, but you ain't no pushover. What did I tell you before? When some jerk comes at you, acting like a horse's ass, I should stand up for myself. Hell yeah. Kerr and his merry little band of clipboards pulled off this switcheroo for a reason, right? Nat mentioned something about a source.
Luca wiped his eyes with a sleeve.
Whatever's at the source must be awfully valuable to Perennial Harvest. Sure would be a shame if something unfortunate were to happen to their precious source, wouldn't it? What do you have in mind? If it's small enough to steal, we snatch it. If it's too big to snatch, we smash it. And what if it's too big to smash?
Iggy flashed a mischievous smile and cracked his knuckles.
I'm always up for a challenge. I'm gonna make this right, Dad, I promise. Let's do this. Alright, where are we gonna find the source? Probably closer to the center of town, I guess. It can get awful cold out there in those woods, Luca. Probably best you two stay put and conserve your energy. Help's on the way. Where's Rolo? Where's my mom? Did you kill her? Oh, heavens no. Do I seem like a killer to you?
Iggy and Luca shared a skeptical look.
Well, do I? Aw, shucks. Now that hurts my feelings. Screw that guy. Alright, let us return to Beacon Pines. Wait a minute. If this is the original town, then that means...
Iggy darted behind a large pine and began digging furiously. He emerged holding a shoebox with a crude skull painted on its lid.
What's that? Long story. So a few years back, I, came into possession of some premium grade fireworks. Not the wimpy firecracker stuff they give to kids. The good stuff. So why did you bury it under a tree? That's the long part of the story. You and Rolo were doing chores at Rolo's chicken coop. And you guys pissed me off for some reason or another.
Luca rolled his eyes with realization.
He was the start of the flaming chicken coop. No, you didn't.
Iggy stifled a chuckle.
Yep. I just wanted to give you guys a little scare. But like I said, these were some primo fireworks. So I might have underestimated things. You blew up the chicken coop? I prefer to think of it as an incendiary redecoration. Sorry, but you should have seen the looks on your faces. Rolo got grounded for months. Which is why I needed to stash the evidence and lay low. So I buried him under that tree. But when I came back for him later, they were gone. I figured some grown-up found him and tossed him.
Iggy triumphantly raised the shoebox.
Turns out it wasn't the fireworks that got moved. It was us. Unbelievable. Well, that's fortunate. Do you think this is a game? Yes, I do. I think this is a game. It's called Beacon Pines. It's available on the Xbox Series S and X and PC. Maybe the Switch too? I don't know how many fingers I should have been using by that point. The PlayStation? The Atari Jaguar? Newsflash, boyo. You're not a hero. You're a little brat who is in way over his head. A hero is just someone who refuses to give up. Comics these days are rotting our children's brains. Everyone thinks they're a spaceman superhero. I was always partial to Hank Atomic myself. Bonus points if you know which movie the line, "I was always partial to Roy Rogers myself" is from. Is that so? Do you really think you have a chance against us? Is this a specific reference to that movie? Because the lines are going... okay, I guess I might as well say it by now. In Die Hard, there's a scene where Hans Gruber and John McClane are talking to each other by radio. And Hans is like, "Oh, do you really think... you must be some American who's grew up on too much John Wayne." And then John McClane goes, "I was more partial to Roy Rogers myself. Do you really think you have a chance against us, cowboy?" Do we get a yippee-ki-yay? Do we have a yippee-ki-yay moment? You have no idea how powerful we are. Prepare for blast-off, loser. Close enough. That looks like the source. Crooked. Just like this whole stinking place. Huh. I was not expecting a charm. It seems like we're getting more charms than we need. Or that are usable. Shall we check out the coffee shop? Nope, it looks like that's it.
Luca and Iggy inched up to the edge of the hole with bewilderment in their eyes. Arctic air breathed out of the cavern in heaving gusts.
So whatever is creating the cold, and that's why the hazmat suits are checking the temperature, is because whatever is creating the cold hasn't stopped. Echo! 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 Whoa, I can see why they wanted to move us all out of town now. But why would they dig a giant hole? I think this is it. This is the source? It's a dang hole? How do we smash a hole? Oh, it's much more than that, my annoying little friend. Kerr! Where's Rollo? I wasn't lying before. He's safe. Well, safer than you two, at least. Drats, it's cold. You just had to drag me all the way out here, didn't you?
Mr. Kerr gazed down the abyss in contemplation.
It really is something, isn't it? What did you do to our town? What is all of this? Well, that's a doozy of a question. This is the source where they collect the unrefined,
Scratched the back of his head.
Honestly, boys, I don't understand any of this well enough to explain it. Fact of the matter is, I'm not paid to know. What do you mean you don't know? Ain't you in charge? Oh, heavens, no. My role is to merely flash a winning smile and manage various complications. Complications like us? You are a smart boy.
His face contorted into a saccharine grin.
It really is nothing personal. Some people are destined to strive for greatness, and others are simply obstacles along the way. Seems like you were destined to be a creepy lackey. The point is that we all play our part in life. Mine just happened to be a lead in the role of a lifetime, and you happen to be extras ready for your curtain call. We aren't giving up without a fight. Your smiles aren't gonna be so winning after we're done with you. Now, boys, there's no need for melodrama. It makes even a professional such as myself embarrassed for you. Let's change the mood a bit.
Kerr snapped his fingers.
Scene change. Oh no, it's the clipboards and the suits. There, that's better. That's not a scene change. You've just brought in suits from stage right and... No, sorry. Suits from stage left, because stage left is actually the right side of the stage when you're facing it. And you brought in clipboards from stage right. Deal with them.
Iggy turned to Luca with a sly glance.
Why are you smirking? Because I have a box full of fireworks and you don't.
Iggy waved the box into the air, threatening to drop it down the hole.
Stop! Let's not do something regrettable. Joke's on you. Regret is one of my specialties. Out of curiosity, what would happen if I threw these in your precious hole? Nothing at all. You're a terrible liar. I'll have you know, I'm an exceptional liar. That's far enough.
Iggy plucked a single bottle rocket from the box and held it up with reverence.
Stop, you fool! Call off your goons.
After a long pause, Mr. Kerr flung up his hand with frustration.
Very well. You can all head back for the night. It's been a long day. I'll handle these two from here.
Mr. Kerr sighed into the frigid air.
It's just now, Iggy. You can put that down. What, like this?
With a nonchalant flick, Iggy tossed the firework into the hole.
Ooh. Whoa.
With a growl, Kerr leapt at Iggy, crashing through Luca. Iggy tried to twist away, but in the struggle they both tumbled over the side. Luca dove forward, bracing Iggy's hand just before it slipped. His grip was made precarious by the cold, wet snow. He could see Kerr further down, clinging to Iggy's coat.
You reckless child, what have you done? Luca, listen to me. Hold on tight and use the walkie-talkie to call them back. How? What channel do I use? It doesn't make a difference, they're always listening. If you do that, the Clippers will just haul us up and snag us both. The only way you get out of this is if Kerr's out of the picture. Just let go and save yourself. If he lets go, we both die. I don't want to die, but seeing the look in your face almost makes it worth it. Mr. Kerr, you've had a long life. Why don't you actually do something selfless and just let go?
Mr. Kerr gasped with insult.
Long life? I'll have you know I can still play 25. You should have heard me sing the part of Phyllis Young.
With a wild look in his eye, Mr. Kerr began to hum a proud melody.
Prum, 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 pum, pum. Wow, can you believe this guy?
Luca's hand began to cramp. His voice began to crack.
Kerr, just let go. No, kid. No can do. If you want to save your friend, you'll have to save me too. Luca, look at me. It's okay.
Luca felt Iggy loosen his grasp.
You aren't going to kill your friend like that, are you?
Every muscle in Luca's body burned.
I'm not his friend. Yes, you are. Nah, I'm just a no-good bully. Like you, Kerr. Iggy, no.
Luca felt his hand slipping.
And I told you what you need to do with bullies. I can't. It's your only way out of this mess. Two birds with one stone. It makes sense for us to fall together. Wackadoos travel in packs.
A calm settled over Iggy's face.
Luca, let me do this.
Iggy's voice was colder than the bitter air billowing from the chasm.
Let me do the right thing for once. Luca had no choice but to... Ooh. I'm sure this is not going to end well for anybody. Let's say refuse. I'm pretty sure this is going to end pretty quickly after this.
Luca had no choice but to refuse Iggy's request. He tightened his grip and reached for the walkie-talkie in his pocket. A wild delight crept onto Mr. Kerr's face. That's a good lad. Now, radio for help. Iggy begged Luca with his eyes one last time, but Luca pressed the button and called out. We need help. Mr. Kerr is in danger. It wasn't long before they were once again surrounded by clipboards. Mr. Kerr sighed with relieved frustration. There you are. You really are a worthless lot, aren't you? Mirror, now. A clipboard dutifully produced an ornate ivory hand mirror, and Mr. Kerr began preening his tousled hair. Ah, that's better. Mr. Van Horn, I applaud your sharp thinking under duress. I'll put in a good word for you with the founder. Take them away. A swarm of hands overpowered Luca. The last thing he saw before a cloth bag was pulled over his head was the defeated look on Iggy's face. The end. I think this was one of those times where doing the right thing was the wrong thing.
All right. I think I'm going to stop here for the night. Got any suggestions for someone to play next? Leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and have yourselves a good night.